Hi, I'm Travis. I told you video. Disrespectful IRL stream. I'm now fighting 31 years in Korea prison. I'll start.
Things are now absolutely terrible for the disrespectful IRL streamer who's now stuck in South Korea because he just got hit with another deepfake charge, which adds an additional 10.5 years of potential prison time in South
I think Korean law is weaker than America, but not that weak. America is way too strong.
Korea, which means the grand total of prison time that he's currently facing is 31 years in a South Korean prison. And he just admitted all the attention he's currently getting isn't even worth it anymore.
In the long run, do you think that it is worth it?
At this point, no.
I mean, come on, congratulations.
Wait a minute. What did he say? I can't understand. Backward.
You
At this point, no.
I mean, come on,
That it is worth it?
At this point, no.
What? You said now worth. Rewrite just like 1 year straight? What the fuck now? Rewrite? What's the problem?
I mean, come on, congratulations, you played yourself. Overall, harassing strangers in public should never be incentivized in general, but massive skill issue because you simply picked the worst countries to do it. Maybe not the worst, but definitely terrible countries to be doing this streaming in, because let's be real, if he was doing this in the US, most likely he would be out on bail and he would only get a slap on the wrist for any trials that he actually went to. And I guess for some reason, this absolute moron still operates like he's in the US. Hey, how you doing?
Good, what you?
Good, can't complain. Currently recording this video in a business center in a Weston in Boston because I'm currently traveling, but news happened, so here we are. But I mean, hey, I'm only stuck in a Weston business center temporarily. Johnny is stuck in South Korea for the
That's true. So streamer Johnny Soma is now facing up for 31 years in prison in South Korea after being hit with another charge. He's charged with a second count of disobeyed first videos in the form of the pegs.
the foreseeable future. Because I mean, right after the trial I watched, he was playing it cool. He was like, oh, nothing's really gonna happen to me. Nothing ever happens. I'll be out in no time. A couple months later, he's lost a lawyer. He's still stuck there. And new charges are dropping pretty much monthly at this point. I don't know if he's going to get let off the hook as quickly as he thought. So it now seems like reality is really starting to set in with this guy, as his only friend and financial supporter is starting to get extremely fed up with him as he's getting more and more charges. But at this point, most people know the story. Absolute moron, goes to Japan, gets in a whole bunch of trouble there, ends up doing about 3 months of jail in Japan, absolutely does not learn his lesson, goes to Israel, gets detained a bunch, gets a bunch of threats, ends up doing something that gets him permanently banned on his only platform that he actually makes good money from, which is Kick, and then he ends up fleeing Israel while still permanently banned from Kick.
Yeah, that he is. So he's idiot. How to not learn a lesson?
What does he do? Absolutely still does not learn his lesson. He then goes to South Korea, rinse and repeat, does the same thing all over again. Now, facing 31 years in prison because clearly he has still not learned his lesson. And nobody feels bad for him whatsoever because he has not learned his lesson whatsoever. He's just been given way too many chances to, you know, pack things up and pivot the way he's making content. But instead, he just continues to double down. Even after admitting the attention is not worth it, he still wants the attention. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, why isn't he currently arrested in South Korea? Well, South Korea apparently operates very differently, especially when it comes to foreigners. Apparently, they don't want to spend the taxpayers' money on taking care of Johnny. They want to put that burden to provide for himself on Johnny. So now, Johnny essentially is homeless, except for Hank. He is
But it's genius because why need the Korean government need to pay the tax in the jail or somewhere? Try to flock down, make bankrupt here, or thank you.
is now a burden to Hank and Hank's family because I guess Hank thinks it's a good idea to continue to pay for him. Because Hank, for some reason, thinks that's the right thing to do, even though, as you'll see, it's destroying his life as well. Johnny is a sinking ship and he's dragging everyone he can down with him. Because Johnny is stuck in Korea for the foreseeable future. He cannot leave Korea until all of his court cases are done, all of his time is served, and all of his fines are paid. Then he can finally leave. So until recently, he's had 5 charges that stuck and then 1 that got dismissed. 2 of them are misdemeanors, 2 of them are obstruction of business felonies, which hold a maximum of 5 years each in prison. Then you have 1 deepfake charge, which has a maximum of 10.5 years in prison. And just now, they added another deepfake charge, which adds another 10.5 years of potential prison time in South Korea. So he's now facing a maximum of 31 years in prison. And I guess after all this, he's slowly starting to realize that he's ruined his life.
I talked to my mom this week, and she was like, really just like, you need to stop drinking. Like, it's ruining your life. You're 24, you know what I mean? You don't need to be drinking and doing.
You just know drinking is the issue. No, that is not true. Before you need to learn about that. Alcohol, you should stop drinking. You can't control alcohol than how to travel.
This crazy because you know what I mean? Like alcohol is definitely the reason why I've done so many great, and it's do not back down, never give up. It's not backing down, never giving up. It's about just bettering yourself as a person. I think I'd truly be a better person if I didn't drink alcohol. I feel like it doesn't bring anything better. It doesn't bring anything positive to my life. You know what I mean? I can make good content without drinking alcohol, like easily.
You're making content is to drink alcohol than to bring people. That is not good content. Just like you say the money to the fucking forest people. You think too much money. How to that as a read carrier like that like to the say the sold the money. That is not good, mate. What are you talking?
When Johnny is sober, he actually has some fairly reasonable takes. But that didn't really last for too long because, according to 15 Minutes of Shame, 1 single hour later, he was already drunk streaming.
Come party with us.
What? All right to drink. What's the point, mate? What is the point? What's the point? Is that he's idiot? He said, I regret the alcohol. They said, bloody drink again. What's the point, guys? It's like, he's behaving like, I don't want to say, I don't want to be racist. Guys, you know what he means? He said for Korean to cockroach like that. Alright, it's your time, mate.
It's a quiet hour, so.
Okay, you like Diddy?
Yeah, I like Daddy.
You like this song?
Wait. Outside, I couldn't hear either.
Then come here and sit with us.
Dude, you bought another one?
No, it's the same one we had.
No, it's not.
Ace it is.
You finished the last one.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm lying.
Alcohol is not to stop drinking alcohol to him, but he is not alcohol. Why try to drink again? I think he is need to go to the mental health care on the alcohol, but not in Korea. Or need to go there. I think don't need to pay, don't need to use taxpayer. Use his money like that in during the bloody Korean.
All right, come hang. Don't the bike. Can you dance with Diddy with me one time?
Well, why are
Sweet Diddy, what's the point, man?
you like drinking so much, man? Come on.
Listen to Diddy with me, please.
All right.
I mean, Hank here is just acting like a disappointed father, and this is Johnny's only lifeline in Korea. Why?
Disappointed father? Oh, just now, he should say that before. He is just supporting some mind. Now say disappoint father like behavior just now. How many times do that not this behavior? I don't understand.
Why would he be actively trying to burn this bridge? I guess he just can't help himself. But the reason I say this is in an interview, they actually admitted that Johnny has ran out of money and Hank is his only lifeline, even though Johnny will still go on and on about saying, oh, I actually have money and I'm not broke.
Legal mindset and these channels, they spread like fake narrative that like I'm penniless and things like this. It's not true that I'm destitute and this stuff for me. I've been living an okay life here. You know what I mean? I stay with Hank, so I don't really have expenses for living.
But here's the reality of the situation.
I have sacrificed my finances.
Congratulations, why sacrifice finance to 37 really bankrupt together? It is really awesome to bankrupt together. idea after joining so many court and the Hank also caught in Korea. Hank, do you think that its behavior is mother tell us like the behavior like that is normal? Why support him to finance that?
You know, like I've actually like Johnny ran out of money because they refused Johnny to work. So I've been actually providing for him. He's been
Yeah, why try help him to not? Yeah, indeed. Why need he to work here? Why input that flag to write that? Or like there's something ruined.
helped me a lot. He's helped me with not only like legal fees and stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's helped me pay for a lawyer and stuff like that. And
Hey, for Roy, why pay to him? Why use money for him? I don't understand.
he's a great friend. Like honestly, I respect him for that. And when I get out of here, a lot of it I do owe to Hank. He's a real man.
Yeah. So, and I, not to mention that I sacrificed my time and space here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that all he says is he respects Hank for that, dude, if it wasn't for Hank, from what we're hearing, he would be homeless. So, I mean, the least he could be is a little more grateful to Hank because apparently he was starving before Hank took him in.
And I actually fed him back to health too. He was very unhealthy.
Okay. Yeah, very skinny. Hank claims when I was living on my own in Korea, I was very skinny and gaunt. You know, because maybe my diet was not good. But Hank is definitely. People now on the internet are saying I have like a gut and man boobs now because I guess Hank has been feeding. I've been on the Hank diet, and Hank has been feeding me so well.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
What is the mean? Hank speed a lot food that make him much looks healthier? Congratulations. What does your mom will be, your parents will be proud of that after doing so much. What a proud of that. Congratulations.
Oh yeah,
Bro, you mind?
Yeah, bro, thank you for not letting me starve. Bro fist for that one. But apparently things are so bad that Hank, he's being supported by his family. And his family is threatening to cut that off because he keeps on funneling that money back to Johnny.
I risk my family not paying my tuition to help Johnny because I believe that helping Johnny was right thing to do.
You know, that's why is family money to help him? It's not mother. Oh, you not yourself. Why? I don't understand why he be like that.
Pretty much.
His mom hates me. Your mom hates me, right?
Yeah. My mom hates you. My grandparents hate you.
And you said despite all.
That makes sense. Why only Hank you like him? They don't have a reason. You don't. Hank also you don't learn anything. You need to learn. Wow. What a lovely friendship. What a lovely friendship. What a congratulations.
That
Despite
he's
all
my
that.
friend, and wrong is being done to him, and I'm gonna make sure that he gets out of Korea safely.
Yeah.
This is a real.
I mean, bro.
Why would you ever destroy your own life and ruin your standing with your own family over Johnny? This is clearly someone who's only using him because he has no options left. But that is still not stopping Hank from allegedly pulling some strings to get Johnny a new attorney. But apparently this attorney isn't from the big leagues. He is an attorney. That's about it.
So he's got both a public defender that was originally covering his Eastern District.
Prosecutor update. Lawyer from Eastern District has optical races in the Western District. Unclear how defense will separate work out from now has a public defense and private lawyer. Now new lawyer is checking who. It takes for you has seen court in 2 years. What the white payer or to use that? What? In that search on Google, just go to the lawyer that's to donate the money to reach the lawyer. Wow, that is awesome, guys. That's congratulations.
Sorry, his Western District case, and a private lawyer, which was on the East, which is now registered in the West. So we're going to talk about this lawyer. So we actually predicted who this lawyer was. We had a leak. Ramsey gave a leak about who this lawyer was. We now know officially the lawyer is Choi Guang-ho, or Guang-ho Choi. Choi is his family name. So that is the lawyer that has registered. He is a tax attorney. He is a tax attorney. He has not been
What
inside
the-
a criminal
Brilliant
courtroom
guy.
in
What?
20 years.
Brilliant Stormer.
Let me say that one more time. He has not been inside a criminal courtroom in 20 years. He is a tax attorney. So what probably happened, and this is something that we said, was this is probably a friend of Hanky Poo's family who got put on this case.
And apparently his entire legal strategy for the deepfake charge has been a complete flop.
His whole big legal talk, his whole big legal strategy was, we're going to settle with Bong Bong. We're going to settle with the female victim. We're going to pressure her. And they wanted to threaten her because she showed the image on her stream as well. But she showed it to show how mad she was about it, being like, this is wrong, right? So he tried to blackmail.
Blackmail? What is the blackmail mean? What is the heck is blackmail? Ah. What a dumb new charge. 3 May 8, 2025, Ramsey Karim Esmer has been officially charged with the second count of violation of the Special Act on Sexual Crime for disrupt of files video deepfake. Thus, effectively doubles his maximum penalty crime penalty for deepfake to charge. Each charge has a max of 10.5 years. Through the max penalty is 20 years in prison for deepfake. Congratulations, Joey Soba, you deserve it. You follow the risk. Your behavior need to follow responsibility.
The victim. And not only did that fail, it literally backfired in his face. When he tried to blackmail the female victim, the prosecutor probably saw this and said, oh, hell no, we're going to double down and give you another one. And by the way, there will be no settlement on that one because it's with the Korean YouTubers that you are literally attacking and threatening with defamation. Remember, guys, Hank and Johnny have been threatening to sue the Korean YouTubers and myself, by the way, threatening to sue me.
I should have called you. What comedy? So it's what? It's how to try to shoot on the lawyer. It can't be right. It can't be right. Have I heard right? Have I heard correctly?
Me with defamation in Korea. Do you think that people that you threatened to sue, and you are suing, you literally said you're suing them, you were threatening Dalgoon, you're threatening other people, do you think they're going to come to some settlement with you? By the way, that doesn't even really work in Korean court. Even if they were to say, oh yeah, we agree, they still, the prosecutor could still bring it.
I mean, the issue with Johnny is most of what he says is hot air. Unfortunately for him, the judge and prosecutor might not know that because he's made a bunch of threats and he's said a lot of stupid stuff. So it's safe to say this backfires tremendously on this guy. Because let's be real, all he had to do after he got caught, even after making all the mistakes in Japan and all the mistakes in Israel.
Yeah. I was thankful make this. He is not trying to teach you how to behave. Just just want people was that is so sad or like how. But now Johnny Suma is not listening anything.
Real, and I guess all the mistakes in Korea. Once they charged him formally, all he had to do was shut up, apologize, be respectful, and he probably would have gotten left off with somewhat of a slap on the wrist. Instead, he does the polar opposite. He disrespects the judge, the prosecutor, the victims, the people covering it, and the Korean citizens. That's
also it joins so much disrespectful racist comment in Korea because Korean to say to Korean is correct like that. Now try to his behavior change, just shut up and try respect. It's not way. Just What is her like last year? Since last year, still before 1 year. Now try to do. They did not work, mate.
That's not going to give you any leniency with a judge. I mean, the dude is just playing the worst cards possible as a social experiment to see how the Korean justice system will handle that. But for every day that passes, it seems like the penalty is going to be harsher and harsher. Then to make things worse for himself, apparently, he lost a lawyer.
Just today, we had the public defender step down. Now, that is like
Political update. Lawyer from Exeter District of Pickle registered in the Western District. A public defender removed from the case. His lawyer is now tracking her. Tax writer primary. Correction is key to the gold separate court at least 5 times our case was those.
likely they were actually removed from the case. That means they weren't the ones who petitioned it. It was the court that did it, probably because he no longer qualifies for a public defender. When you have a private attorney, that typically disqualifies you from having a public defender. So it appears that he was disqualified from that.
So now, the case will be even more expensive for Johnny, or Hank, depending on who's footing the bill here. And Legal Mindset also issued a correction here saying the attorney has actually been to court 5 times in the last 20 years, or at least 5 times. But apparently he's lost all 5 of those cases. So Johnny has now hired a guy who's gone 0 for 5 over the last 20 years, and he's still acting up during his trial. I mean, by the way Johnny is acting, you would have thought, hey, he hired some big league attorney with this big boy crypto money he has. But the reality is different. And as I stated previously, he's now admitting that it's not worth it anymore. He's banned on Kick. That was the platform he could actually make decent money on, and they're most definitely not going to take him back. And we learned that from Ice Poseidon.
In the long run, do you think that is worth it?
At this point, no.
So now Johnny is permanently banned on Kick. He's also permanently banned from Patreon apparently, and Airbnb.
I'm permanently banned from Patreon. Permanently banned from Airbnb.
Richard, that is your DJ Disco Richard. You don't know why? Maybe, yeah? They don't want your money, bro. You don't know that? You need to run, bro.
I don't even know how. Somebody sent some kind of article to Airbnb. They permanently banned Airbnb.
So it's hard for him to make a living streaming. It's harder for him to collect donations. And it's hard for him to live somewhat cheap, because Airbnb is a good way to live cheap when you're long-term staying abroad. So his options here are Hank's Place or expensive hotels. That's tough. But that was the quick Johnny Smalley update. I will return home soon, so I'm not recording the next video in the West End Business Center here in Boston. And I'll be back in my studio with my microphone that everyone said.
Okay. Otosh, thank you so much for making a lovely video. Thank you so much. You're a legend. They pissed.